Good morning, gardening friends. Today is Sunday, February 2nd, 2025, and it is a beautiful day outside. It's about 45, sunny day, and just about 8 o'clock, 5 more minutes. I'm just sitting here in the front porch, enjoying all the plants. I've been putting things outside this week, and I thought I would take a look at these coleus. I put them in that water 2 weeks ago, and you can already see the the roots. Hi, Miss Mimi. Miss Mimi's coming to say hi. It's extremely easy to root coleus. Like I said, 2 weeks and I already have roots, so I'll be potting that up this week. This one's ripe for cutting. That was the one that I took the cuttings off of. Kind of what I do is I pretty up the plant and then take the cuttings and propagate them. Miss Mimi is out of bed. She's enjoying being around, messing with my flowers. My Nepenthes is looking better today. Yesterday I noticed it was awfully dry. The leaves had withered. I hadn't been keeping ahead of watering it, so I filled the pitchers up with water, and I watered the plant really well. Everything else here is doing fine. I really do like the fern in the corner there. I had one years ago that was about 3 or 4 feet long, and they do well outside here in the Zone 9A, except you have to bring them in for the frost. I did break down and buy a primrose. They won't live. I've tried carrying them over in the summer, and they just don't do it here in the South. So enjoy them while they're out, and enjoy the leaves as long as you want, and then get rid of them. They won't come back. My African violet is still doing fine. I am going to repot that. Actually, I'm going to cut it after it's done blooming and reposition it, and hopefully it will regrow. Let's go out. Here you can see some of the damage on the agaves from the cold. See, these branches are fine. These are going to be cut off. Same on this side. It takes a while for the frost damage to appear, and you'll get splotches like that. It doesn't hurt the plant, it just deforms it and makes it look funny. I got rid of the lemongrass, cut it down, and now you can really appreciate the color of the blackberries. They've turned a beautiful burgundy color. I don't know if the lemongrass is going to live. Time will tell. Cycad is showing some signs of damage, but overall it's pretty green. You can see the bananas have been cut down. It seems odd here not to have those tall bananas there. We also cut down the cassia. Just cut it to here, and we'll see how it comes up, how it sprouts. My hydrangea looks like it has some sprouts on it. I have one lone hyacinth coming up in there. I planted a bunch of them there. I did notice in the front that some of my bulbs are starting to come up. Here you can see some of the daffodils coming up here and there. And it looks like I have some in front of the picket fence. Although, to be truthful, I don't remember planting them. There you can probably see right about there. My cactus doesn't look the worst for wear. The frost didn't seem to bother it, the 13-degree weather. "13, by the way, is a Zone 8A. We were a Zone 8B for years, until last year, when the government thought we should be a 9A. However, if you plant for an 8B, things are definitely going to survive. I was surprised with the camellias in that even though some of the buds and flowers were fried by the cold, there's still promise. This is High Fragrance, the one that smells like hyacinth. So they're still, the buds are still forming, the buds are going to bloom. I was pleasantly surprised that they're still alive. There's some more hyacinths here and there. I've planted them through the years. I love pink hyacinths in the spring, so I always get pots of pink hyacinths and then stick them somewhere in the yard. My Mexican petunias did not like the cold. Oh, there's Dilly in the front yard today. In case you can't tell her, she's over there. She blends in with the leaf litter. Ooh, nose is running. The grass looks good. Crepe myrtle's still looking good. Oh, by the way, these nice green amaryllis are the ones that I had blooming inside the house. So they will live out here from now on. Here's the other one. The ones from previous years, you see the frost knocked them back, but they will come back. Back in here, the rosemary looks the worst for wear. The agave made it. Of course, it was tucked next to the house and covered with leaves. It's so small that frost can kill those. I was pleasantly surprised at my Australian tree fern. After I unwrapped it, I cut all the dead off. And you may not be able to tell, but this is still green. So there are green portions of it. So therefore it did live. And hopefully will start to sprout up again. I looked at the forecast and it looks like we're going to be above freezing for the next month, at least as well as can be predicted that far in advance. It looks like we're going to have another cold snap the first week of March. So I started bringing everything back. Pots are in their places. You can see the leaves are falling off of the Satsuma tree. I don't know if my cordyline is going to make it. Doubtful, but we'll see. African iris was cut back. We did cut back the angel's trumpets. And we got rid of the dead air potato. This African iris was untouched by the cold. It's just that protected location. And my Queen Bessie is coming back. Beautiful flowers. I did take a picture of these last week. How can I get down there to see? I have to sit on the ground. Hang on. Oh, goodness. But this is my hellebore. It always blooms. Has a lot of buds yet to come. It is beautiful. Now the difficult part is getting up. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Okay. It's a bitch when you get old. Oh, but when you look at the alternatives, getting old is okay. That is a beautiful cluster of blooms on that camellia. This camellia, well, you can't see it. You can only see it from the deck. But it has, that's a sasanqua, and it has a bloom on it on the top. So the cold did not affect these. There's another Lenten rose, but it does not show any signs of bloom yet. But the camellias are doing fine. I will take the time this week to clean up some of the dead ginger lilies and get rid of the vincas. But overall, it's looking pretty good. I filled up my water baths again. This tree got hit the most, the Satsuma, and in 2 weeks, since we just had a big trash pickup Friday, I'm going to have this topped at about 8 feet. The same with that one. We're just going to cut it back. It just got too tall. So we'll give it a nice flat top at about 8 feet. Let's go in here. Of course, this pot still looks good. Gotta find my key. Not too much left in here. I'm bringing them out little by little. Place is a mess because of the plants that were here. But have a look at, of course, my poinsettia is blooming. I've had that for 4 years. It always blooms late, but it does bloom. And look at the size of the nun's orchids. They'll probably, when they start to bloom, I'll bring them into the front porch. And it looks like that stalk is about ready to bloom. What I wanted to show you was the angel's trumpets. I took these cuttings a few weeks ago, and as you can see, hopefully, they are full of roots rather. I will be potting those up this week. So a lot of things to do. Spring is coming. Let's see what else is going on out here. I did do some repotting this last week. I'll show you when we get to the deck. This cycad got severely frostbit, and I'll probably cut these back this week along with the ferns underneath. My grass is still looking good, except for the spots with a cat speed. They will die initially, and then they'll come back greener. But I still have some seed. I'm going to reseed the dead spots. Strawberry pots are back out. This agave does not look to show any signs of damage. Knock on wood. My forsythia looks like it has some buds. Of course, we cut back the angel's trumpet to the ground. That was the white one. Hopefully it'll come back. We also trimmed up the Serenoa repens. It didn't suffer any damage, frost damage, but what it did do is the heavy snow flattened out a lot of the leaves, and it made it difficult to walk around that bush. So we cut all the side branches off to make it easier to get around. Here I still have to get out the not angel's trumpets, ginger lilies. Won't take long. I'll mess with it this week. Now you appreciate the look of the the nut tree pecan without the angel's trumpets there. All angel's trumpets, again, you can see the stubs are cut down to the ground. It looks like the what's that? That's a buttlebrush tree. Got a little burned from the ice and snow. All of the Fatzias look fine. Knock on wood. These turned a little off color, but they're not brown. There was another angel's trumpet in there, but you can't see it. Now that's been cut down. We got rid of the variegated ginger lilies. Cut them back. I would anticipate them sprouting back pretty soon. The flower stalks are gone on the Fatzias, but the plant itself is fine. Of course, we brought these pots out. This one, and that one. They're graduated in size. Smallest being up there, medium, and biggest. And I can't replace those if they were to shatter. And they're of such a shape that if they freeze solid, they would break. So I always bring them in. Well, I don't. I pay someone to bring them in. The lion's head is back. I did bring that in with the bromeliad in it. And surprisingly enough, I am absolutely dumbfounded that my lady palm, I was sold it as a lady finger palm, is green. I had covered it with a pile of leaves and just a blanket, and it made it through the 13-degree weather. There's another one. Oh, my nose is plugging up. Over here, you should be able to see it. That was an offshoot of the other lady palm, and I also bought one. However, the one I bought died. So if at all possible, it's better to multiply the plants you have, because they'll more than likely survive the conditions they're in. See, here's a lady palm way out here. But what I have found is there's just a long underground rhizome without any roots that goes to the main plant. So I'm going to let it stay there for a couple of years and grow, and then dig it out. You don't want to be too soon to dig things out. Let them establish some roots. The palms are looking fine. Windmill palms didn't sustain any damage. Unfortunately, the top of my Phoenix canariensis did get burned. I anticipate it coming back. It has before. Of course, years ago, there used to be 2 huge oak trees protecting that. That was when that was about half the size it is now. It does help to have things overhead to protect plants under from frost or cold damage. Here you can see winter rye growing in nothing. I was often tempted to sprinkle winter rye on a doormat because it will sprout. I repotted my Clivia. That was a single teeny tiny bulb seedling that I bought from Walmart about 5 years ago. So it has multiplied. Has not bloomed yet, but it has multiplied. I put it in a bigger pot. I brought out some of my plants, not all of them. Cyclamen are recovering. They did not like being in the kitchen. And I planted up all of my paper mites. I put them here and in that little pot. I figured I don't like them in the house because they're too smelly. And so I just potted them up and I'll let them stay here. But there you have it. It's a beautiful day today. You might be able to see, maybe not, right in between these 2 branches. There's one little flower of my apple blossom, Sasanqua. But I was surprised as many flowers lasted through the cold of my camellias. And I'll leave you with this parting shot of the backyard. I hope you all are well and you can get out and do some gardening. Until next week, take care.